Good morning and welcome, Patriot Radio News Hour. I'm Joe Jaquin, CEO of the Patriot Trading Group, and it is Martin Luther King holiday here in the United States. The banks are closed, the post office is closed, but we are here and we are open. allamericangold.com is the website. Again, that toll-free number, 800-951-0592. Obviously, legal, lawful, constitutional, biblical tender, the only thing that has been money for thousands of years. Gold and silver, it is what we do, the physical delivery of it, wherever you may be, anywhere in the United States, territories, if you are in another country, if you want to do... I would say the minimum, probably about 250,000 or more. I'll make arrangements for you. But anything other than that, you're going to have to find somebody local in your country. But here in all the U.S. territories and the United States, we can help you. We've helped tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands by now. Year number 25. A lot of things obviously going on. We're getting ready. The inauguration coming up. What is it? Wednesday? I think it's Wednesday. Whatever day it is. Coming up here. The Washington, D.C. looking like a war zone. The president-elect Joe Biden already releasing last week his $1.9 trillion stimulus package, and he said that's just the first one. Got another one coming next. Over the weekend, he said that he wants to legalize 11 million, give or take. I wonder how many there really are, right? I think the number is, 20 million, but whatever it is, illegal immigrants into this country. Once again, a nation of laws that we decide, the government decides when and what it wants to follow and why we need less government. It's just another classic example. And for all the people that immigrate to this country legally, just another slap in the face. But again, this is why, right? The caravans mounting again and everybody racing to the border. And of course, without borders, you don't have a country, right? I mean, do you? But that's the goal, right? Did you see Bill Gates, now the largest owner of farmland in the country? That make anybody nervous? A guy is admittedly a population controlist, for lack of a better term. I don't even know if that's a word. But listen, by the way, I love making up words. I make them up all the time, but I sound good doing it. And it just did not. You know what was so funny is when I read about it, I wasn't surprised. I wasn't surprised at all. This is something where, as Jason was saying, and I'm not into this as much, but tracing back, he is... in the Rockefeller family of things. I learned that today. By the way, if you did not catch the Liberty Revolt show this morning, he's our morning show on 1360 KHNC. Bucky Dillon does a great job, 5 to 7 a.m. I think we've added him to the podcast list at 1360. It'll be up if you want to catch it. It was... really, really great show this morning talking about Pentagon released videos, alleged, I guess, right? We got to say that now, right? Allegedly about vaccine, and this is going back all the way to 2005. Of course, well documented. The Gates Foundation heavy into that. So if you're looking for something like that, the Liberty Revolt, the morning show on 1360 KHNC every day now from 5 to 7 a.m. Go to our podcast section of our website at 1360, and it'll be, if it's not already up, it'll be up shortly, and I'll update everybody again. I'll bring it up again tomorrow because it was just that good. So it's something where for a lot of people, as we connect the dots here, all of this makes sense now, right? You start putting these pieces of the puzzle together. A lot of this making sense as to what's happening here in the United States today. Now we got a guy, Joe Biden, who can't even remember what day of the week it is, right? Coming out and spending trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars. We're going to rejoin. Apparently, as soon as he's sworn in, we're rejoining the Paris Accord, right? The whole global warming initiative. And remember, that's on round 2 of his spending plan, right? We're going to spend hundreds of trillions of dollars by the time it's all done on the global warming scale. And again, I just think it's something where already we have 50 to 60 million Americans unable to feed themselves, right? And need handouts from the government, not because they can't work. It's because we've prevented them from working, and the situation's only going to get worse. And I think we're going to find this horrible truth in all of the spending that we're witnessing. Eventually, the more we spend, the more we go into debt, the harder it is for people to provide for themselves. And it's almost like the exact opposite thing happens. We don't enrich them. We enslave them. I mean, that's really what ends up happening. Patriot Radio News Hour. We'll be back right after the break. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour here on this Monday. Just some updates. The U.S. Mint continues to struggle mightily in keeping up with the demand on U.S. Silver Eagles. As of this morning, the Bullion Bank has informed us they have stopped taking orders on U.S. Silver Eagles today. There is I guess, a glimmer of hope that they said, hey, call tomorrow and maybe something will change. This is something we were worried about this as demand for U.S. Silver Eagles has increased significantly. The Mint unable to keep up, and it's kind of one of those bad signs because they always produce millions of Silver Eagles at the beginning of the year. That's one of they shut down. They get ready for the new year, the new mintage. They ship out millions. We're well through that. As of last week, by the end of the week, I was telling everybody, hey, 3 to 4 weeks for delivery. Today, and my guess is, because it's a government office, it's closed. So the Bullion Bank is probably waiting to see what the delivery times are going to be. And right now we'll have a better answer tomorrow. So it's possible tomorrow I may say, hey, you can order Silver Eagles. And again, it'll be the same thing, 3 to 4 weeks. And then again, the Mint, once they get so far behind, they stop taking orders altogether until they catch up. So junk silver, we are expecting major delivery shipments today and tomorrow. Obviously, with the MLK holiday today, may do some interference, but all the silver that's coming is coming UPS and FedEx in the next 2 days. But we should be at least having silver on hand in the form of junk, or really should call it utility silver. Those are the quarters, dimes, and half dollars. Our biggest problem is getting tubes, flips, boxes. I mean, we have just we're out of just about everything. We've ordered all of this stuff weeks ago, and still are waiting. The whole shipping and delivery thing has just been an absolute nightmare as well. The post office problem is well documented, but now even UPS and FedEx are having similar issues that the post office has had, and things that would normally be here. FedEx, hey, it was here overnight. A lot of times now it's taking 2 or 3 days. And of course, there's always something. Well, I got stuck in this town, got stuck in Memphis, or got stuck in Chicago, or wherever it may be. But be ready. So all of you people that were ordering, we had a lot of people, large quantities. We're talking full bags, multiple bags of junk, half bags of junk or utility silver. We'll be making calls. Hopefully no later than tomorrow afternoon for you guys to pick up. And then for those of you waiting that have rolls, Colorado and Phoenix, we're in the same boat, right? We have some, but like here in Phoenix, as an example, I have no more dime tubes. I've got the dimes, just don't have the tubes. They should be here. They were scheduled to be here last week, so hopefully they'll miraculously show up in the next day or two, and we will be all caught up. On the gold side, again, premium's rising. Gold's up pretty significantly today. The stock market's closed today. The gold market is not. Gold's up about $10 right now, 1837. Silver's up about 14 cents, just over $25 to the ounce on U.S. Silver Eagles, or I'm sorry, our U.S. spot silver. I'll get it. It's Monday. It's a holiday. Man, did you see any football? I will admit I haven't watched a lot of football, but I had to watch Tom Brady and Drew Brees, and I've said this on the air a lot. Tom Brady's an alien. No doubt about it. Aliens exist. Tom Brady's one of them. The guy is the GOAT lives as he beat Drew Brees, the two oldest quarterbacks to play in an NFL game ever. There in the playoffs, and Brady and the Buccaneers now making it to the semifinals, if you will, of the Super Bowl. They'll play Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers coming up next. That should be another good one, but, I don't know. Sports has changed. Like a lot of things have changed. And like I said, I've watched very, very little football. I used to watch football all the time. It used to be a big deal. And now, not so much. The Tom Brady thing, just because I think he's an alien. The guy's incredible. And he proved it again yesterday. And of course, Bruce Arians used to be the coach here, a wildly popular coach here back in the day. So he's now the coach of the Bucs. So I guess maybe that was why I wanted to watch. I don't know. But other than that, what else happened? Oh, my oldest son is back at school. He is a semester away from being a senior in college. He is. He had a 4.0 last semester. Not to brag, but he had a 4.0. He got an internship this summer. He's not coming home this summer. He's intern, which is, let me tell you, really hard to get. I feel horrible for the kids, and you think about. We talk about the closing of the economy and the effects and all the government money being spent. I mean, think about just so far. We've spent $900 billion. All of that's going to, I don't know if all of it, most of it's going to be in January's budget deficit. Joe Biden wants another $1.9 billion, plus we got at least another billion coming, right? We've got 2021, we could see a budget deficit $5, maybe $6 trillion. I mean, it just blows your mind. And the shutdown, and we talk about that. We talk about bars and restaurants and small businesses. But one of the things, you don't talk that much about is the college kids. We talk about the younger kids. I have a son that's a senior in high school, and it's been tough. really tough mentally on the kids and the parents. Very stressful. I was talking to one of the parents last night, and their son just struggling with this online school. The mom's like, man, I think I got to quit my job. Because, and she goes, I'm not a teacher, and the kid's a junior high school, 14, tough age, and the lack of that accountability and being in school and the toll that it's taking and all of those things, and we talk about some of that stuff, but these college kids, my son lucky, and I told him, I said, you know what, probably had just as much to do with the grades you got than anything else, because there's just not that many opportunities. Most of his friends are like, yeah, I applied for all these internships, didn't no one, somebody maybe got some, but a company that maybe in some of these bigger companies, they may hire 500 interns, maybe 1,000 in these big companies. Well, now maybe they're only hiring 100. And my son got a job, and I'll just tell you, to come to Northwestern Mutual, and it's something where he knows what I do, and he's like, Dad, I want to help people. I want to help them with their finances and do those things and try to protect what people have worked so hard for. But they were talking to him the other day, on Friday. He was talking to his would-be boss about whether or not he's going to be able to go into the office. And my son's like, well, I want to go. I want to go in the office. I want to experience. I want to put my suit on. I want to get in there. I want to learn, and he was telling his boss, how do you learn? If I'm sitting at my house and I can't hear you, talking to one of your clients, or how do I learn how to do this if I can't be around other people that have the knowledge and the seniority? And it's such a valid point. A lot of people, it's like listening to this show every day. Hey, I learn by listening to you. Well, if you're not at the office, what is the guy going to do here? You're going to zoom into my to my bedroom and listen to me talk to clients. I mean, it's crazy. So they don't hire nearly as many. And I just think about the cost and how much money the parents and the kids and the debt and all this stuff. And now I know this. My son was just telling me, as far as his friends go, very, very few got internships. And, of course, the ones that are graduating, he's at least got a year left. The ones that are graduating, it's even worse. So there's a lot of things when we think about what are going to be the ramifications of all of this stuff, moving forward. Because I'm going to tell you right now, okay, so you didn't get the job out of school, so what do? You go back home to your parents' house, right? And it's for some of these, and I know some of these kids, you know what? They're not going to work, and the parents will. I wouldn't, but some of these parents, they'll let them instead of, hey, go get a job, right? Go apply at Walmart. Go apply at Taco Bell. Like, I'm not doing that. I got a college degree. And then what happens? Right? What happens? Right? The economy starts to open up again, and next thing you know, you're applying for these jobs. They're like, well, what have you been doing for the last year? Right? And then they hire the next guy coming out of school instead of that person. I mean, you almost take a large portion of these kids and just make their life so much more difficult. It's just nuts, just absolutely nuts. I just got a text. We got on 1360khnc.com. We got so much stuff going on there. Really, we own the radio station up there here in Phoenix, 1010 Family Values. We've been on the air with them, man, I don't know, maybe 15 years, 14, 15, maybe 16 now. A long time. We bought the radio station that we had been on since the 90s in Colorado. And we wanted to be, we're watching what's going on and all the censorship, and we wanted to be the place that people could go. We've created a blog, and we've got a group of young writers. You talk about it being journalism, that's a tough field. And I think we're up to 6, 7, 8. We're trying to get about 10 to 12 of these young writers. And they're honing their craft. Make sure you go out there, read what they're writing, give them feedback, be positive with them. Let's get when you think about journalism, especially print media, it's almost as bad, at least on the media side, right? You got Fox, you got Newsmax, but on the written side, even less conservative voices out there. We just posted another article. This is got a local Colorado flavor to it. A woman who had a restaurant defying the Colorado lockdown orders. Make sure you go check it out and check out all the other young writers there and encourage them to keep going. 1360khnc.com. 800-951-0592. I got a little ahead of myself. And the article will be posted in about the next 30 minutes. Ryan was listening, was clarifying. I guess I didn't read it well enough. But this will be the latest here, this having to do with the shutdown. And every state's different. Like Arizona, we've been pretty open. States like New York and California, Colorado, so the major diehard blue states really struggling. So that's coming up. Make sure you head out to that blog site. We're working on. We've done some, and we'll continue to do more. We're adding a video feature to a lot of our shows. That are coming. That's coming in the very near future. We've actually done it a few different times where we're live streaming our radio shows. Something none of these other radio stations are doing. The blog is another medium. Right, we're trying to keep the conservative word out there. You think about Parler being shut down, and Google and Twitter and Facebook, and basically shutting down anything that's conservative. We're trying to expand on that, and all of your anyone out there, you're listening to 1360, going out there ordering. We got the best. And I mean, we've got the best CBD products out there, 1360khnc.com. If you click the shop button, right now there's, we started with what I called the big three. We have the 1,000 milligram tincture. That's for us humans, which is what I use. And I won't get into all the things that CBD can help you do, but it's you guys know, you've heard it all that it can do. We also have the pet tincture. So if you got some pets that maybe got a little anxiety or they're older, can really be helpful. The salve, which it's the best. As a matter of fact, I didn't know this. They've actually won several awards for some of their products. But go out there, check it out. We're going to add, hopefully, we're just waiting on approval. A couple of new products coming. I know we got a coffee product coming, the lotion, which I already have the lotion from them. Dynamite. Absolutely. And listen, I was a non-believer. I'm like, sure, we get older, you get the bumps and the bruises and all of those things, but I have been using it now, and I've been telling we're doing the bowling, the pickleball, the golf. I'm trying not to be so out of shape, and let me tell you right now, my body's like, dude, what are you doing, right? But really has helped me tremendously. And here's the best part: we got the best price in the country, period, hands down. Everything produced in Colorado, so it's all U.S. made. The hemp is grown in Colorado. It's processed. It's manufactured. The labs, everything's independently lab certified. Everything. That's called the COA. This is now all of our products that we carry at 1360 have no THC whatsoever. This is not marijuana. There is no THC in the product. This is all 100% CBD. And like I said, everything's lab tested. Everything we carry is independently lab certified. So we know it's no heavy metals, all organic, no THC, none of those things in there. And our price, when you talk about, take that tincture, because that's probably the most popular. That's the drops. And a good rule of thumb, for every 20 pounds of body weight, it's a drop. So I'm a little bigger guy, so I take, a whole dropper full and a little extra. For some of you, you may just take, 5 drops or 7 drops, whatever it may be. But it's $100 or more everywhere. When you go and say, okay, all organic, independently lab certified, COAs, and no nothing in it, no heavy metals, no THC, none of that stuff. It's $100 plus. We're at what? I'll call it $50, $49.95, whatever it may be. $50. Nobody has what we have. The quality is the best. These guys are superstars in the CBD industry. And here's the best part. They wanted to help support what we're doing at 1360. So everybody, if you can hear me. Now, there's 8 states that we're not allowed to sell to. I'll use one of them because I know New York. If you're in New York and you're trying to order, our site won't let you because it's not allowed there. The other 42 states, you're allowed to order it. Plus, you're going to support the radio station. So make sure you go out and check out our shopping cart there. And I'll let you know as we add more products to it. And I wouldn't speak as highly of it if I didn't love it myself. And I'm shocked. I really am. And of course, it just makes sense, right? The Lord provides natural ways. You don't need to be taking 4, 6, 8 Advils a day and all that stuff. You don't need to do it. Check it out, 1360khnc.com. Hit the shop button. And like I said, in the next 30 minutes to an hour, the latest of our writers talking about the restaurant government, bars, restaurants shutdown, and actually did an interview with one of the local Coloradoans who got shut down, right? We didn't shut down. The government came, took their license, all that stuff. So just great things happening at 1360, and decided to take MLK Day, kind of toot our own horn a little bit. Back to gold and silver, 800-951-0592. And we're sitting there and we're watching all of the shutdowns and things like that happening now out in the UK. Banks are threatening to close and cancel people's accounts if they don't wear masks. We know airlines are wanting proof that you've been vaccinated and all those things. By the way, I do know a person now who's gotten both shots. One of the frontline workers, and I don't know where everyone sits on it. Some people are believe in vaccines. Others, like me, are a little more leery. I will say, you got to admit the polio vaccine changed the world. So, vaccines aren't always bad, but this is this new technology, messing with the DNA that the good Lord provided us, this messenger RNA stuff. But I know a guy that's gotten both. He was fine. I don't know, just letting everybody know. I actually know one person who's gotten both shots. Patriot Radio News Hour. We'll be back after the break. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour. Again, no Silver Eagle sales today. We'll see what happens tomorrow when the mint reopens. But right now, the bullion bank's like, you know what? And I get it. He's worried that come tomorrow, the mint's going to say, hey, we're too far behind. So once the mint reaches about 4 weeks of back orders, they stop taking more sales. And so that's what he's worried for. So we'll learn more about that tomorrow. Still got junk silver out there. Talking about Joe Biden coming out and all the new things that he's going to do and undo, if you will, what Donald Trump had done. And now he's talking about legalizing 11 million illegal aliens, joining back the Paris Accord. We know about round one of stimulus, and somebody a lot smarter than me figured out. Now, again, this is based on people filing with the government for unemployment. How much money needed to be spent if we simply did, hey, if you lost your job due to COVID, we're just going to keep you whole. Right? So whatever you were making will allow you to continue to make till you get your job back. That number was, and again, this is the best number that I've seen out there, is just under $300 billion. Well, that's a lot of money. But when you think about what we've spent and what we're going to spend, and you're like, well, wait a minute, for 300 now, that's not all the bills, right? We know this. If you kept those people whole, they could pay their rents, their mortgages, right? And life would go on. Now, that doesn't help the business owner, right? Now, he needs revenues to pay for and be able to pay his rent. But let's just say, and I know that it wouldn't be more than $300 billion, but let's just say another $200 billion. So for about $500 billion, give or take, you could have kept. Now, the problem is, hey, you're giving money to some people and not others, and, they want to give everyone a check and all that stuff. And we're sitting there, and I'm looking at all the spending just in Joe Biden's bill. $850 billion worth of handouts. We broke this down last week. When you think about how much money's going to the states, what they're going to be bailing out, and all of these things, and we could have done it for a lot less. But this is the problem. Government's so big that by the time you take the part that helps and you really dig into it, you know what we end up finding? That was the least. It was the least. When we talk about, at the peak, about 30 million people were unemployed, give or take there. That probably would have been, about $76 billion of monies. And that's not everything that would have been, but that would have been a lot. And now we're going to spend, by the time we're sending, what are we going to spend on this thing? What's the final number going to be? I mean, during the Trump administration, we had the $2 trillion, the $900 billion was approved. That's and now we're probably going to spend $6 to $8 trillion on this, and probably we'll find out that if we had done it right, and just the people that needed it, we could have done it for about $1 trillion. That's my guess. What's the other $7 trillion for? And see, this is the problem. Because you don't hear it. CNN's not going to tell you it. Even Fox does a crappy job of how much, they maybe you'll hear, oh, well, the states, the blue states are getting bailed out. There's so much graph in this stuff. You look at the pharmaceutical companies have enriched themselves by epic proportions. And really, who's really benefited? Really? Probably a group of about 40 or 50 billionaires that have gotten the vast majority of all the, of the bubble run, right? Because we've created a bubble. Who benefited? One of the 30 million people that lost their jobs. And this is the problem that we face is the government continues, every time they pick the winners and the losers, because that's what they're doing. Right? Google's a winner. Parler, you're a loser. Right? I mean, that's just what they do. Less and less people win. For every one person that wins, for every Elon Musk, 10 million more people go into poverty. For every Jeff Bezos, 10 million more people go into poverty. Eventually, probably in the next 4 years or so, the vast majority of Americans are going to be in poverty. Of course, that's when the reset comes. Patriot Radio News Hour, final segment coming up. 800-951-0592. And you think about what this has created. I got friends of mine are reaching out to me because they're talking about, hey, no one wants to work for $15 an hour. Remember, no one used to want to work for like $5 or $7 or, $8 an hour. That now, 20 years ago, people didn't want to work for that. Fast forward today, now people don't want to work for $15, $16, $17 an hour. They can't move out of their parents' house at that wage. Anything like the medical field. A good friend of mine is a big-time medical recruiter. He owns a small business and probably employs, a dozen people in the medical field. And he was telling me this is the hardest jobs to fill are these, what they call medical assistants, $15 to $17 an hour. Never seen it. No one wants it. Of course, now you think about throw COVID on top of it. Of course, yeah. No one wants the jobs. $15 doesn't get it done. And you think about, too, with the unemployment and how they've done it, right? You get your unemployment plus, Joe Biden wants $400 more a week. A lot of people making more than they made when they were working, while they're unemployed. It just, all of this stuff, it just defies logic. It makes absolute no sense, or does it? And I hate being this way, but and not everything's a conspiracy, but starting to feel like, what, this is how they wanted it to be. This was all part of the plan because, we're nearing the end of the dollar. And it's natural. This happens all the time. Every fiat currency that has ever existed goes to zero. Heck, they write books about it. Well, the latest one was the guy, he was the head of the IMF, wrote The Death of Cash. He wrote that, I think it was 4 or 5 years ago. And he highlighted all the fiat money. And it's so funny that fiat money started in China. They were the first. And now here we sit, all these hundreds of years later, and the United States is getting ready. And who looks like they're going to be the new major player? The Chinese, right? Just rotation again. And this is why you put gold and silver away. You're getting ready because whatever it is, whether it's digital, which it's going to be a digital currency of some sort. If you have your gold and silver put away, you're going to get a lot more digital money than anybody else who doesn't. Right? Your digital stocks and your digital bank accounts, they're going to take big hits. And that's what the gold does. The gold just offsets those hits. If you want to put gold away today, 800-951-0592. It is MLK Day. Don't really have any specials today, but if you're looking to get something done, call us. Brooke's here. Brittany's here. Jason's got Colorado covered. Patriot Radio News Hour. Thank you all for listening. Thank you for supporting our young writers and supporting the radio station with your CBD purchases. God